The salty air stung Silas's weathered hands. Each day on the island brought fresh scrapes and burns, reminders of a life dedicated to the sea. He welcomed the physical pain. It distracted him momentarily from the ache in his heart. Clara, his sunshine girl, had been gone for too long. He yearned for her laughter, her bright eyes, the way she called him Papa with such pure, unadulterated love. The lighthouse stood tall against the relentless waves, a steadfast companion in his solitude. Its beam, a beacon of hope for passing ships, offered him little comfort. Silas glanced at the worn photograph on his table. Clara, her gap-toothed grin wide, held a seashell aloft. His heart ached anew. Dawn painted the sky with hues of rose and gold as Silas made his rounds. He polished the brass fittings until they gleamed, checked the oil reserves, and meticulously swept the stone steps leading to the lantern room. Each task, usually performed with quiet satisfaction, felt empty. Clara's absence echoed through the empty rooms of the lighthouse, amplifying his loneliness. He tried to lose himself in his chores, in the rhythm of the waves, in the cries of the gulls that wheeled overhead. But Clara's memory lingered, a bittersweet fragrance on the salty breeze. Evenings were the hardest. He would sit by the fire, a worn book in his hands, but the words blurred before his eyes. All he saw was Clara's face, her laughter echoing in his ears. In his calloused palm, Silas held a small wooden boat. Clara had carved it herself, her tongue poking out from the corner of her mouth in concentration. It was a crude thing, misshapen and scarred, but to Silas it was a treasure beyond measure. He traced the rough edges with his thumb, remembering the day she had presented it to him. "For you, Papa," she had said, her eyes shining with pride, "so you'll never be lonely at sea." He kept the little boat on his bedside table, a tangible reminder of his daughter's love. In the dark of night, when the ache in his heart became unbearable, he would hold the boat tightly, drawing strength from its rough-hewn form. It was a symbol of hope, a promise that one day they would be reunited. Days bled into weeks, each one an eternity. Silas continued his solitary routine, his heart heavy with longing. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, setting the sky ablaze with fiery hues, he noticed something different. A small dot appeared on the distant horizon, growing steadily larger. It was a boat, its sails billowing in the wind. Hope, fragile but persistent, flickered in his chest. Could it be? As the boat drew closer, Silas's heart pounded in his chest. He squinted, his vision blurring with tears. And then he saw her, Clara, her hair glinting like spun gold in the setting sun, stood on the deck, her face alight with joy. "Papa!" she cried, her voice carried across the water by the wind. Silas's pain, the constant ache he had carried for so long, melted away. In its place bloomed a joy so profound, so overwhelming that it brought him to his knees. His little girl, his Clara, was home.